New laws governing the sale and public consumption of liquor during the outbreak of COVID-19. SAPC reporter Tebogo Pakedi is in Mahikeng in the northwest, and she's been observing how this is affecting business but also being received by the general public in the area. Tebogo, a very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. What have you observed tonight in light of the new regulations governing the sale of alcohol?
Thank you very much, Simpiwe. Good evening to you and, of course, to the viewers of the Globe. Indeed, new regulations have been gazetted by the Department of Cooperative Governance, and, of course, this has shifted the day-to-day lives of people. We did go around and drive around some different clubs, different taverns here in Mahikeng in the Northwest Province, and, of course, one can affirm that it is not as usual. You would see by now it is Friday today, Simpiwe, and by now we are used to these clubs being crowded by people who are there to have fun, to entertain themselves. And since the declaration of state of disaster here in the country, things have shifted. And of course, as you mentioned, this section 8 of this gazette now stipulates the limitations of sale, dispensing or transportation of alcohol here in the country, and of course with the aim of ensuring that the spread of coronavirus is kept or is being ceased. And I am at the moment, Simpiwe, in a PH network, where I tell you, in most cases, this is a club that is almost crowded almost every day, regardless the day of the week. And of course, now these regulations have put some restrictions on these clubs. They are now instructed to close by 6 o'clock until 9 o'clock in the morning during weekdays and Saturday. And on Sunday, they are instructed to close at 1 p.m. And this, of course, includes the limited number of people that are supposed to get into these clubs in Piwe. About 50 and less than 50 people should be in these clubs. And these are some of the regulations that are put in place to ensure that the country deals with this pandemic. And I can tell you at the moment, the police are going club to club as they did yesterday, as Remu Dutla can just pan to my left to just show you how police are also making sure that no alcohol is being sold after 6 o'clock, as stated by these regulations, Simpiwe.
All right, Tebogo, now this really is a difficult time for all businesses, especially small businesses and those in townships, and particularly shebeens, as you just mentioned, and some restaurants are finding it very, very hard, to cope with the fact that they have to turn away most of their clients, looking at the fact that they are only restricted to 50 customers per session. So is this the case over there?
Most definitely, Simpiwe, as I stated, that the number has actually lessened, and you'd remember that some of these clubs actually have 3 streams income. One can say through car wash. You'd find one club having a car wash, having a restaurant, and of course a liquor store. And of course, this has really made a negative impact according to the small business owners or even liquor outlets owners, saying they have to turn away most of their clients, most of the liquor patrons. And I have with me here people who would be able to talk to us as they came to PH Network. I have with me Rorisan Chisimba. I'll just hear from here. Thank you very much, Rorisan, for joining us. If you can just tell us, why are you here? You heard that people should be home, try to make sure that there's less contact. Why are you here at this time of the night?
Firstly, presenter, my best friend's dad owns this place. We came for dinner. And yeah, before we actually had to have dinner, we had to sanitize our hands, all the precautions we took. When I came here, I actually had a mask on because now on the interview. But yeah, there were certain things that we had to do before that, we had to really do before we ate. And yeah.
And on my right, I have Kisulofetsu Monna Khotla. Kisulofetsu, you are also here. You are with Rorisang. Just explain to me the pandemic of coronavirus as the country is trying to deal with this, and you are here at the moment, not at home, and of course surrounded by other people. Why are you here also?
I'm here for dinner, and I think it's a very unusual thing to see the place as empty as it is, and it's very serious, and there's really we have to accept the, disease as it is. And like my friend said, we have to sanitize, we have to take extra measures to make sure that, there's really, it's really frustrating, but we take it as it comes and we are ready.
Thank you very much, Kisulufetu. That is Kisulufetu explaining that it is quite strange to see this place not having a lot of people as it's used to be. And of course, they are explaining there that they had to sanitize their hands, they had to put on masks. And we have, of course, on my right hand, people who are preparing food for them, also making sure that they have different precautions on, like they've got their gloves, they've got their masks, and so forth. But I would just talk to the owner of this place, who is Jeff Monnakgotla, just to tell us more about the challenges that they are facing as the country is facing this pandemic. Thank you very much, Monnakgotla, for talking to us. Just tell us, PH Network is open at the moment. We understand that new regulation says you must close by 6 o'clock, and you do have a section where you sell food, which you are allowed to do. Just tell us more about this.
Well, first and foremost, we are committed, and we believe in the course that the government is undertaking to control the spread of the virus and all the regulations that goes with it that is gazetted by the government. As a company, we're fully behind that, and we believe that in the long run, it will be for the benefit of all of us as citizens, and that way it will help us as business people in generally creating and participating in the economic activity in Mahikeng generally, and that way, no doubt about it. As a company, first and foremost, we are a village grill and a restaurant before we are a pub, and that aspect of the business has not been restricted in terms of trading. The one of the liquor sales at 6 p.m., we strictly adhere to it. Our patrons, as you can see, our business has gone down over 75% on a Friday like today, which is a massive knock. The food section has taken about 30 to 35% knock. However, it is interrelated with the beverage business side of the business, which when there isn't any sale of the beverage side of the business, the food side also has a negative impact on it, hence the 35% sales to this time. On Fridays, on a day like today, we should be having in excess of about 100 people as patrons that come out here and support us, which the place has changed the lifestyle experience in Mahikeng, but unfortunately it comes with the territory that we have to support and of course adhere to the regulations as prescribed by government.
These regulations, though, states that there should be 50 people or less, even during the day, as the country now is on the national state of disaster. As the owner of this business, how do you ensure that you do not exceed 50 people?
Well, we by and large depend on our phone call in and collect side of the business. We are a buy and buy type of facility, which we offer an African cuisine, which is very unique and South African palate that is very popular with Mahikeng residents and generally South Africans and people who visit our area. And we depend on the call and collect side of the business, whereby most of our patrons, they've resorted to that type. Since that they can't have the beverage side of the business operational, now they rely on that call and collect side of the business. And as such, we have a strict control. Our security personnel literally are counting people and sitting there and adhering to the number 50 and below throughout the day. But it just happens that we're not even reaching that number because, as you can see, it is my staff that is there and probably a handful of them now. We have the pleasure of the SAPS passing by as well. So we are definitely within the limit of 40 or below.
That was Jeff Monnakgotla, who is the owner of PH Network here in Mahikeng. That is a restaurant, and of course it is a liquor outlet, explaining that these restrictions have really hit hit hard on them, saying that the income or even the profit has gone down. But at the same time, they are trying by all means to limit the number of people who come here to buy. They are making sure that they are using their telephone ordering system. And of course, Simpiwe, this goes on to state that this really has affected many business, particularly when we look at these liquor outlets. Back to you in studio.
Indeed, Tebogo, thank you so much. It really is a difficult time for all businesses in South Africa. Thank you so much, and do keep safe. That was our reporter Tebogo Pakedi speaking to us live from Mahikeng.